All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 2 between Maro and Hero. They're going to meet up on bel'shir Beach Winter. Let's get into it right now.
bel'shir Beach, obviously a pretty good ZVP map. Of course, not as bad as the original version of this map, which was absolutely horrendous if you're a Protoss player. Multiple entryways and large entryways going into that natural means certain doom for Protoss players. But here, we see just one ramp, and it's not that bad of a ramp, so this map becomes pretty manageable as far as I'm concerned for Protoss. Of course, the strengths that the reason why Zerg would still pick this map is the third is a bit of a stretch. There's not a back door, I think, right? No, there's no destructible rocks like on Ohana. There's just you have to go down that ramp and you have to actually extend yourself to that third. And that's where Zergs make it a priority. They should be on 3 bases while you're on 2. And when you go to take a third, a lot of Zergs will show ultra aggression in trying to deny that third base for the Protoss.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of players have done a lot of different things. I've seen Titan just go for the gasless gateway expand. It's a very interesting way. You go gateway, nexus, and then forge, and you're able to do a lot of pressure at a time where normally you don't have any pressure builds. But we have seen forge fast expands actually be completely denied based on Baneling play, Zergling Baneling play, and it actually works out rather well. So we'll see what Hero actually does to counteract all those different things that Zerg could potentially do. Still no gas up for Maro, so he's going for just a regular gasless speedling, or not even speedling, Zergling expand.
Absolutely. Now we're going to have a gasless opening from the Zerg player. I do like this. I think it's easier for the Zerg to take those 3 bases, obviously, at this time. Hero's going to play a little bit of the denier. Is that a word? Denier?
Yes.
Thank you. For whatever reason, my brain was refusing to answer that question internally.
I just said that, so I actually don't know the actual answer.
Okay. I appreciate your support, though, and like how strongly you said yes. It gave me confidence to go forward. Hero is going to deny that. Maro, on the other hand, has not moved out with the drone just yet. Spawning pool has finished, so perhaps he just opts for the natural being the second hatch anyways, and he's just going to do it a little bit later than he'd like with 6 lings and a queen out. We'll have to go ahead and here and see. Now, one of the risks of this map, too, we didn't really talk about this, and it didn't end up being at play, but if you drone scout, there's actually the option of hatchery blocking the expansion.
Yes.
Which can be problematic because if you have to put a cannon that both hits the hatchery, it covers a lot less of the ramp, which increases the chance for like a ling run by it. It basically complicates things pretty severely.
Well, this is going to complicate things, as we see that first 4 Zerglings just wandering forward. Nothing. Oh, he's actually.
Oh my gosh.
Down. Wow.
That's actually such a big deal. I really think they're going to get it now. Oh, he backs away. Interesting choice.
Doesn't want to be surrounded by those probes.
Yeah, I mean, he would have traded 4 lings for the cannon for sure.
Oh, and great microing back the weakened probes. You can see some of them took shield damage.
The mining time lost here is huge.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And there's no gas started for Hero. You want to start that immediately after the gateways. Or excuse me, the gateway is put down. But by dealing with this, that means that he's not putting down the gas, which is, for the cost of 4 Zerglings, a giant wrench has been thrown in the build of Hero.
I will do the math for you right now. It's been about 45 seconds that 9 probes have not been mining. And it is going to be, gosh, I wish I didn't go into
you totally signed up for this.
All right, 9 times 4, 360. And then divide that, 270 minerals.
There you go. And that is why you have a math guy on your casting pair. Guess what? If I could do that math, the answer is no. I could barely speak the English language, Gretorp. I couldn't do that math. That's ridiculous.
What?
Now, drone saturation going to that 3rd base, which is going to function as the 2nd, and that's confusing. But if you look, that natural has been delayed, like we said, but it is just gasless 3-base expand. Very standard stuff from the Zerg. And that means for the Protoss, they're not worried about an all-in, but after the damage those 4 Zerglings did, you're worried about a lot of things because you're so far behind from the normal build you'd want to be doing. I don't want to say so far behind in the game because if you look, they're pretty even in all categories, which of course, if anything, favors the Protoss. But for right now, it's going to be pure drones, and it should be pure drones for about quite a while now, actually. Yeah,
normally you do see this where Protoss will be able to keep up for the most part until the chrono boosts run out. When the chrono boosts run out, that's when you have to, you know, start worrying because the Zerg starts to have their larva mechanics really kicking in for them. What does Hero actually do from here, though? We don't see a Stargate play. I do believe it looks like some sort of continuation gateway play. There's the second. I'm assuming at least two more gateways go down. That's the normal continuation. Then I've seen anything more gateways or a Twilight Council. That's normally what we see.
You asked for it, you got it. Gretorp, 3 gateways inside that main. No gas at the natural, which usually suggests pretty aggressive play. Third gas is queued up now. And of course, once he starts to take more gases, what I start to think is that this will just be like a 4 or 5, perhaps blink expand build. Very standard stuff. That's the bread and butter of a lot of different maps for Protoss. It's good on just about every map.
Here we can see a single Stalker trying to take out this one.
Oh, Lord. Look at that pin.
Oh, God.
Okay, got it, but you're dead. The Stalker's going to trade for an Overlord.
And not a drone. Nice job by Mara,
That was
man.
the coolest surround I think I've ever seen. 3 drones exactly.
Yeah.
And the Queen's loving breasts.
Bosom.
Ask me.
Bosom.
Ask. Does the Queen have breasts? You want to know, don't you?
Jeff, I got a question for you. Does the Queen have breasts?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ask me how I know that.
How do you know?
I don't. But I'm almost scared. I'm almost positive.
You're almost
now. Zerglings are looking for this pylon, and this is actually one of the ways you can tell if you're dealing with the fantastically frickin' awesome Zerg. A lot of Zergs don't look for this, and they don't see this, and then all of a sudden there's 10 +1 zealots knocking on their door. As it is, it's going to be 6, which is really bothersome, but with the base of roaches as he has, this is the potential for Mar to pull way ahead, and look at that. Hero's like, whoa, you made roaches already?
Roaches?
Cheating, and he's going to run home and forget that this ever happened.
And this pylon is going to go down as well, so that means all these zealots are just caught out in the middle. And you know, they're not gonna be happy with this. The roaches are just gonna give chase a little bit here as the Zerglings try to just delay them from going a little bit further. Blink is on the way though, +2 attack. We're gonna see a continuation. Blink Stalker plus
7 gates.
Plus 7 gates, I'm sure. He'll probably expand behind that. That's, you know, a very natural progression of PvZ right now.
You can expand or attack. Honestly, if a failed zealot timing goes the way it did, you probably want to expand with it. And oftentimes you have to skip Robo if you're doing that, which is a bit of a wager. Of course, Hero has proven time and time again he has no problem taking said risks because you just want to funnel all your resources into as many Stalkers as possible so that if the Zerg does a really weird premature attack, you can actually spill over into, actually instead of expanding, I'm just going to go ahead and kill you. But we'll have to wait and see if he takes that route. Now, he is up to 4 gases, but just now at 4 gases, which is worth mentioning because there's no sentries out on the map. And at this point in time, with the techies going and the lack of base sentries, he's not going to make sentries. We shouldn't see those for a long time.
So I guess he is going for the aggression right now. I guess he's just saying, okay, well, my... you know, I'm not really geared up to take my expansion. Obviously, he's not preparing to take it because there's... You know, you have to take it a little bit sooner. Because if they get Burrow up and you don't have robotics facility
Gretorp, and even
forever.
Tunneling Claws.
Oh, God.
Morrow has advanced beyond the collective Zerg sub-intellect. Tunneling Claw is such a fantastic upgrade.
Uh-oh.
A little bit of an awkward position here as those roaches have flanked around, but Morrow's going to oblige him kind of, or excuse me, not Morrow, but Hero. Going to come over. That pylon gets targeted down. That's such a big deal. There's no reinforcements, and I'm not seeing the probe. Did the probe get sniped as well? I think it did. That means that this attack is on its only and last legs. All Warpits are going to be back at home, which is extremely difficult. Now the blink back is good. Tunneling and Burrow has just now finished, which means Morrow has revealed the bad news. You, sir, cannot stay out here because and actually with the Mohawks, it gets worse. The Protoss is like, oh, crap. And that's why we see the the robotics back at home.
Yeah, he needs to get that ASAP for those observers. There's a nice blink micro, actually. He needs to target down those weakened ones.
Morrow's losing units here. He's actually not burrowing.
Yeah, he needs to actually... Oh, man. He needs to retain his roach count. You cannot let a stalker count get up this high, and you don't. You're trailing. No. You're trailing.
He's got no detection. Okay, this is what I was waiting for. It's like one bad engagement, and the stalkers end up looking kind of silly, but Morrow is actually mishandling this. He should not be losing almost any roaches at all. He needs to pop up, do a shot, pop back down. Yeah, you're going to take damage. Big frickin' deal. As your roach count grows, the effectiveness of these stalkers decreases.
Yeah. And here we go. Another round of stalkers are going to get in here. Hero's just playing super efficient.
I think Hero wins this.
I think Morrow is dead.
With no detection.
Which is so weird. Because
he has balls of steel, man.
Steals a ball.
He is just not worried about it. And Morrow he's just not understanding what he's supposed to be doing here. He keeps popping up with like 4 roaches. 3 of them get picked off, 1 gets a shot off, then it burrows. 4 roaches show up, 3 get picked off, 1 burrows. It's like, dude, you're actually losing roach count here.
And now the robotics facility is done, so you can go ahead and make some observers.
Yeah, here it comes across the map. Mauro just doesn't have the unit count. Just does not have the unit count. Never mind the fact that he has no upgrades, I think.
Yeah, and this is going to do it. Poor roaches. They're going to be caught with their pants down. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a 2-0 win, it looks like, for Hero to start us off a big bang. I love this. I love this play, man. Hero is so good.
Really impressive play from Hero, like you said. I'm just kind of frustrated because I feel like Mauro has more to give. I was really excited to see the Burrow and the Tunneling Claws working up against a Zero Vision 2-base Protoss. I was like, oh, wow. Hero's going to have his build stomped, but Mauro is like, okay, I've got 12, 13 roaches. The second that fight starts to turn against you, when you have Burrow and Tunneling Claws, burrow everybody, add more to it, burrow them. Let him take the hatchery out. Let him do damage to the hatchery. Pop up, get a couple shots off, burrow and heal. Move with your Tunneling Claws in a position to do it again, and rinse, repeat while not losing units. Every time his unit count dropped to like 5 or 6 roaches, when they pop up, they're doing shield damage. When you pop up with 15 plus roaches, you're not doing shield damage, you're killing stuff. And unfortunately, Mauro didn't get there, so I think I could almost see the gears turning in Hero's brain where he's like, oh crap, burrow. But then he's like, oh, you're losing all your roaches. I'll actually just stick around and blink back.
It really does make sense. Obviously, your roach count actually... you become a lot more cost efficient as your roach count gets really, really high, because then stalkers definitely die. But when you're in the low count, they can blink them back. They know they're just going to take shield damage. They're absolutely fine. So really utilize that positioning that you can get with that Tunneling Claw and continue the roach count with the Burrow. I mean, those are the 2 things that you're supposed to have to defend against any sort of blink stalker timings. Really unfortunate that Mauro wasn't able to defend it there, and we have a 1-0 advantage for Team Liquid, but really nicely played. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into match number 2 after this break. Don't go anywhere. I do believe we have, let me see who we have, Thorzane versus Zenio.
Very excited.
Holy guacamole. All right.
That should be awesome.
We'll be back after this.